But all right, y'all, let's get into our way too early NFL season predictions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give Brandon the floor to give his, and then we'll share what ours are. Once he's done. So give the floor to Brandon here.
I find that the AFC is a little harder to predict because there's more parity on that side, right? I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes and you have the Kansas City Chiefs. We can put them and pick them every single year. The Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow having more experience and more time with his guys. I feel like they're going to be right there. I see the Buffalo Bills sliding a little bit. The Jets, is hard for me not putting the Jets there. It's hard for me not to put the Jets there because this defense, the run game, and Aaron Rodgers and what they can do through the air. It's just sometimes it's just like everything is just like pulling for this one team or this one player, and I feel like that's what's going on with the Jets. Like it's due season. Galatians 6:9 is due season for them. The NFC I feel like is a little easier. Y'all know I love to bet. I love to gamble a little bit. And sometimes I can go out there and be like, you know what? Let me take a shot. Who's going to be that team? Who's going to be that team in the NFC? So when you look at the NFC, I look at it and I say, is this the year the Dallas Cowboys get it done? Is this the year that Ashley and her family is sitting there crying and celebrating, tears of joy? We did it. Thank you, Jerry. We did it. I don't think it is. But it makes you wonder when you're going through this exercise, Corey, Ashley, it makes you wonder. And then you look at the Minnesota Vikings, 13-4 last year. You got the assistant coach of the year in Flores, Brian Flores. Could he be the X factor to get this team and Kirk Cousins to the biggest stage? And then you have the San Francisco 49ers. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles. And I feel like that's where it starts and ends in the NFC. Mm-hmm. It's with the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm expecting no pushback at all from Ashley, from you, Corey, from anybody in the chat, that this is what's going to happen in the NFC. This is the NFC Championship matchup. Way too early to predict. Way too early to talk about. And when this stuff hits, assistant coach of the year, head coach of the year, MVP, DROY, OROY, man of the year, comeback player of the year, AFC matchup, NFC matchup, just call me the greatest. Call me the greatest. Any pushback, Ashley and Corey?
All right, to be honest, I do have a little bit of pushback. So you heard it. B. Marsh has the NFC Championship being the Eagles and the 49ers. And I think that's a rematch from last year's NFC Championship, right? That was. Yeah, that was. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? You got the Eagles and the 49ers going back, D-Jack?
Ooh, man. I like the Eagles. The 49ers, I'm not all the way sold on. I know they have a hell of a team and they definitely are stacked. If I had to pick right now, honestly, I want to see what the Minnesota Vikings gonna do, man. I think Kirk Cousins, it's like a make it or break a year for me, man. Kirk Cousins has been playing some great ball regular season. But I think this is a year for Kirk Cousins to make his splash in the playoffs for once, man. I think the past few years he's been there and he's kind of fumbled the ball, and not literally fumbled the ball, but fumbled the ball. So I'm excited to see what they do. I think they added a few pieces to the puzzle with Jordan Addison, young receiver, and from SC. I think he's going to help out Justin Jefferson a lot as well too. So I want to see a different team go this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Minnesota Vikings, they're definitely going to be explosive on offense. You just hope that the defense, be able to hold up. They can improve on that side of the ball. Ashley, I think you'll be surprised to know who I have going to the NFC Championship. I'm sure you already probably know who I'm going to say just by how I just put that. I think you're on mute, but yeah, I got the Eagles.
Is it the Dallas Cowboys?
believe it or not, I got the Eagles and the Cowboys making it. I really do think this is the year that the Cowboys put it
How's
together.
that gonna work, Corey?
Huh?
How's that gonna work?
No, cause look, their offense, I think they only improved, right? Like they add a guy, that Archer. I always forget Brandon Cook, right? Brandon Cook, is that his name? Brandon Cook?
Yes.
The Archer, yeah. So they add him. He's somebody that could take the top off. You have a guy like CeeDee Lamb, right? The Pollard out the backfield. He can also help in the passing game. I think it's the. And then you have, a guy like Dak who's just been in the offense for so long. I think also McCarthy now calling plays might help with their offense. And they've just been getting better every year. Their defense is the same defense they've had for the last, I'd say 3 years. A lot of continuity on that side of the ball. I think as a team, they're going to be able to put it together this year. And I mean, in the Eagles, they're the Eagles. So I think they'll be right back, where they were last year, to get a shot at running it back, at least to get into the Super Bowl. So we'll see. But yeah, who's your NFC championship?
I will say that would be one of the highest rated NFC Championship games of all time.
No, it actually would though.
Like it would be. You think it's a hostile environment when it's a regular season game.
Yeah.
You just put a championship on the line. Yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath. But I always pick the Cowboys to go to the championship game because I am a firm believer in manifestation. And one day, if I say it enough, it'll happen. So once again, the Dallas Cowboys go. D-Dak, I see you laughing. Don't laugh. That wasn't a joke. That's real. It's The Secret. Have you ever seen The Secret? If you manifest it, if you speak it, it will come.
Oh my goodness.
So I am saying, although that didn't work for me when I kept saying I was going to marry Allen Iverson, that didn't work out when I was in middle school, but whatever, age difference kind of worked against me there. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Eagles would be interesting, but I feel like at some point they would cross paths before they would get that far.
You think so? Yeah, that was my only thing. I was just like, it would have to work with how, they're ranked going into the playoffs and whatnot, and they would just have to knock all of the teams off. I do think the game will be in Philly, though. That's the only thing that
I'm pushing back on because I feel like they cross paths at one point.
Yeah, like sooner than the NFC Championship.
They usually always do. I feel like they would cross paths in a divisional and not. I don't think one of them would be in a wild card game. I feel like either first round, second. It could be that I feel like they cross paths eventually.
Yeah, it could be that divisional matchup. But yeah, either way, I think the NFC Championship will definitely be in Philly. I think Philly is just going to run the table all throughout the year.
I'm going 49ers, Cowboys, manifesting it, putting it out there into the universe. That's what I'm doing. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but I'm speaking it into existence.
Interesting. I thought you would at least have because you just said that they'll probably cross paths. So, all right, 49ers, Cowboys.
49ers, Cowboys. 49ers, Cowboys.
Yeah. All right. I hear you. All right. How about we do the AFC Championship? We'll let Brandon share what he who he has going to the AFC Championship.
And like I said, here we go. I'm gonna be quick here to continue to lay the infrastructure, the groundworks of the makings of a phenomenal 23-24 NFL season. Before we can pile on top, we got to make sure the infrastructure is good. We got to know where we're going. And I'm telling you guys where we're going is to the AFC Championship. AFC Championship matchup will be Jets versus the Bengals. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets find themselves in a very cool position. I mean, we're talking about records being broken week in and week out. We're talking about complimentary football at its finest. You're going to see the KISS technique implemented, keep it simple, stupid. Defense is playing so well, so on offense, what are we going to do? We're going to make sure we have a balanced attack. Aaron Rodgers is not going out like that. I'm telling you. So this AFC Championship matchup, it's going to be Jets versus the Bengals. Smoking Joe, super cool, versus the older, super cool Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Joe, you find yourself in another situation where you just don't get it done because I have the Jets advancing. I have to. Call it bias, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say. But the Jets, they're just stronger. No knock on the Bengals and their legendary run they're going to have. But defense, offense, you got all those weapons. You have Aaron Rodgers, and you have a run game. Only thing we're looking at is health. So here's your AFC Championship matchup. Way too early to be talking about this, but we're going to talk about it because it's way too early. Any pushback on this, Ashley and Corey?
I mean, can anybody disagree with the Bengals making it to the AFC Championship? Do we all have the Bengals at least maybe going?
I like the Bengals going.
DJ, do you have the Bengals, or is it a different matchup? Who you got?
No, it's a different matchup.
All right, so we're gonna start with you. Who you got in the AFC Championship?
AFC Championship. I'm gonna go with Buffalo Bills. I kind of want to shake it up a little bit. As much as I don't want to do it, I kind of want to do it, man. I just want to, once again, I want to see something different, man. I haven't played a long time, 15 years in the league. I just want to see something different. I'm going to go Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that's an AFC matchup we haven't seen in my lifetime.
That'd be nice.
Ashley, who you got? You got the Bengals and who?
I would actually really like to see Bengals and Chiefs, but once again, I feel like they're going to cross paths. I'm going to go Bengals Ravens.
Bengals
Okay,
Ravens.
so same pick. No, Buffalo, right? He had Buffalo Ravens.
Buffalo
Yeah,
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bengals Ravens.
Yo, and you know I'm going with the Dolphins, man. It's gonna be the Dolphins and Bengals.
I was going to say the
AFC
Dolphins, too. I ain't going to lie. I was going to say the Dolphins.
You know what?
I ain't mad at that.
The Dolphins are loaded.
I'm
They're
actually
loaded.
feeling like I have to go against my normal and go Cincinnati and Miami.
Yeah.
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 It's just too much going for Miami
I
right
really
now.
like Miami. It's just Tua for me is the question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tua is the
but
big.
they have
If
so
if
much.
Tua was a quarterback, you did now. I know people will say, "Well, he's healthy right now," but there's a long season, and I just always have my breath. My breath is. I'm always holding my breath for Tua. Like every time he does something spectacular, I'm also waiting for something like not good to happen. Not in his skill set, just in the way that he's protected to go ahead and lead this team. Now I know Coach McDaniel said that they did make a lot of adjustments, and they're going to make a lot of adjustments to protect him next season. Hopefully that is the case, because he cannot sustain another major injury.
No, he can't. He can't.
But I would say if Tua wasn't my biggest question mark, which is the reason also in the power rankings I had them lower than I normally would have had them. Health permitted, I 100% think the Dolphins can go to the championship game.
Yeah, no,
100%.
Absolutely. I mean, and if we're being honest, yeah, if we go back to college or whatnot, he dealt with injuries. But between, his rookie year and really last year, he remained healthy for the most part.
Yeah.
But we talk about concussions, so that's obviously why we're so concerned for him. But a healthy Tua, like I said, the Dolphins, they're loaded. And I had mentioned continuity for the Cowboys and whatnot. The Dolphins, they've had the same guys, and all they've done is just added superstars. A guy like Jalen Ramsey, right? You add a guy like Bradley Chubb on the defensive side, and then we got Tyreek Hill. This is another year of him to be in the offense. He actually had said 2 weeks ago to media that last year he was kind of just running around, right, and learning the offense on the fly, and he feels that going into this year he's a lot more confident. So you got a guy like Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. And you also, add a Chosen Anderson to the equation. That's a track meet on the offensive side of the ball.
I got a question too, man. I'm curious, man. Is this the year we see from Lamar Jackson? I mean, he has all his weapons, right? He has all the receivers. He has the big targets. Is this the year we see Lamar Jackson get back to the MVP race and finally take that leap?
I tell you what, this is the most explosive
think so.
offense he's had.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I
Ashley?
think also when you're playing with a different level of clarity, meaning you don't have that contract monster constantly in the back of your head and you're not constantly being asked about it, and you can really just focus on football. He got his deal. He got one of the wide receivers that he wanted. He's got a nice offense. They're tailoring once again the offense to not only get better, but once again around him. I think it's a different level of clarity. I think it's a different level of just calmness. And I think it's also a different level of pressure. He knows that now there are no excuses. You got everything you asked for after just a tumultuous situation. Now it's up to you to do the work. And if you don't do the work and you don't go ahead and excel in that capacity, there's going to be a lot of questions about you, and they're going to be questions that are right. They're are rightfully asked, rather. So, I think that we're gonna see a different season from him for sure. That's just what I think.
Yeah. No,
I'm thinking 2 seasons.
Say it again.
I'm thinking 2 seasons.
You think it'll take 2 seasons?
Because the second half, the latter of what Ashley said, like everything's in place now. So your nerves are gonna actually be like more in front of you. You're gonna think about everything now. That's how I look at it. So I think it's actually gonna be 2 years just so you could get used to everything. The new receivers, and then that second year, hopefully we still got a healthy OBJ. And then I think that's the takeoff.
Unfortunately, OBJ, I think he only signed a 1-year deal. So
he's only 1 year, but I don't think Tua gets nerves. I don't think Lamar gets nerves. No. I think Lamar just goes out there and he plays football. Like, I don't think he genuinely. There are just some guys that you think like, okay, the nerves are going to get the best of him. He's going to go in there. He's going to be questioning. I think Lamar's just going to go out there and play football. Like, I don't think he's questioning himself. I don't think he's going to question his passes. I don't think he's going to question whether to run, whether to stay in the pocket. He's just going to go out there and do what he always does, and that's play football. I can't see Lamar questioning himself.
Yeah, and know that now he has even better weapons to do that with. Now he can just play ball. So DJ, you make a good point. I think they could definitely make a run. Make a run through the playoffs and make it there. So honestly speaking, Lamar Jackson, that's the home team right there. So I'm rooting for him. If the Dolphins don't make it and I get to root for Lamar Jackson, I'm all for it. So
Corey, you're from Baltimore?
No. Lamar Jackson is from Broward County.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the home team, meaning like the team he plays for.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If that went over like a couple people's heads, I'm sorry. But yeah, Lamar Jackson is from the home team. He is from Broward County, Florida. So I'm always going to root for the home team. DJ, you know how it is. You always going to root for the LA guys, right?
Nah, for sure. Straight forward, dude. Yeah, now to touch on that a little bit too, I'm interested to see because, they got T. Martin in the quarterback room with them. They brought in what's Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, got Greg Roman out of there. So, if any year is the year, I think this is the year. I think all the excuses, all the, fans was heavy on Greg Roman, fire Greg Roman chant, and now he's gone. So you got Todd Monken came in there after he did some great things. Where was Todd Monken?
Georgia.
Where was Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He turned their I wouldn't say he turned them around, but he actually, implemented a good offense over there too. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for him. I think, like Ashley said, I think Lamar is one of them guys. He plays backyard football. He's going to go out on the field. He's going to make his plays. He's not too pressed on what the defense does. And one thing I would say, after playing with him last year, he really got the heart and desire to really win. He don't care about nothing else. He just wants to win.
Win a ring. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited to watch the Red. Like I said, the AFC, man. The AFC is going to be fun to watch. What's that?
What kind of year do you guys think it's going to be? 50-50 throw, run, 60-40, 70-30? These new targets, what do you think this new version of Lamar looks like?
No, I really think he has the best statistical year of his career. I think he throws for the most yards, at least up until this point in his career, for sure. And I say best statistically. I don't think he'll run for as much and whatnot, but he's still going to do his thing. He's still Lamar Jackson. He's still going to use his legs. Yeah.
Really? See, I disagree with that. I think you're still going to see more run than pass from Lamar.
Really?
I think when he passes, they're going to be. I think when he passes, they're going to be long passes. They're going to be spectacular passes. But I think that you're going to still see Lamar choosing to run before he chooses to pass, unless it's like a wide open pass, a short pass. I just think it's in his DNA. It's just how he plays the game. He is just a quarterback who, if there's even a little bit of space and a little bit of coverage on his receiver, he's always going to take the option to run the ball himself. That's just who he is. Do I think it's going to be as drastic as it's been in the past, like a 70-30? No. But I think if we weighed the percentage, I think the percentage would still lean towards in favor of him running more than passing more.
So you thinking what, 60-40, 60 run?
I don't think it'll be that. Maybe 60-40. I would say 55-35. I don't think it's going to be a drastic difference. Wait, 50. Does that matter?
They got on your math. Yeah, it's all good. We
my
get
bad. Listen, y'all, I was not
good
at math.
We all make mistakes.
God bless calculators. That is not my strong suit. What percentage was that?
You said 55-35.
What total is that?
Is this 90%?
Oh, my bad.
Is a replay.
My bad, y'all.
What's the extra 10? Is he kicking?
I'm having flashbacks to something.
I think honestly, and this is just my perspective on it. Let's not forget, man, the Baltimore Ravens, man, offensively, They stacked, bro. They got the tight ends. They got the running back, Gus Bradley. They got DK. I mean, JK.
JK.
You know, like, let's not forget, like, they're still a run first team. You know what I'm saying? Now they got all these weapons. They got Flowers. They got the receiver coming in. They got Odell. They got Nelson Aguilar. I mean, they got some heavy hitters, but I don't think the system is going to change that much. I think it's still going to be a run first offense and then play off of that. I think that's going to be their key. And I think they have some crazy weapons on the outside to play it perfectly how they need to play it. So as long as they don't, we got all these weapons outside, let's go pass first.
Yeah.
You got to establish the run game first. You establish the run game first and everything else is going to be open. It's going to be wide open.
That sounds like 70-30.
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking too much like a Madden player, because in Madden, I'm going to be throwing that ball.
It's not realistic, man. Let's implement this run game first, man, and then everything else is going to play off it. You got to think they're gonna have to account for Odell regardless. You're going to have at least not one. I'm going to say you're going to at least have to have two people on here. I mean, if this the Odell we're used to, when he was playing at a high level. So, yeah, we're excited for that, man.
Yeah, no,
70-30. I know that's 100.
There we go.
70% run?
That's what Andrew said, but I just know it equals 100.
No, but I'm saying, are you saying 70% run? Or
No,
you saying
no, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I think that'd be kind of crazy. I'd lean towards a 60-40. Or honestly, I'd lean towards 50-50.
Yeah,
because he got so much new weapons now. He could try out different stuff.
Yeah.
I was just looking at some stats here. His actual rushing yards have gone down every year since 2019, from 1,206 to 1,000 to 767 to 764. So this is actually, the trajectory is lining up for him to actually throw more.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? He has more weapons around him, so he doesn't have to risk the injuries anymore.
I mean, but like D-Jack said, I think we'll see a lot of play action, right? I mean, because
55-45.
Look at her. She on one now. Look, we know you got your math, girl. You good.
She over there with a calculator.
I know. Nah, 55-45 probably actually makes the most sense.
You know what this reminds me of? The St. Louis Rams. Remember that early offense in the early 2000s?
I mean, well, they
weren't much on. Well, they had Marshall Faulk,
they threw the rock though. You talking about like the
greatest
greatest
a lot.
show on
Torrey
turf?
Holt.
They threw the rock. Yeah.
That's who they remind me of right now.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm super excited to watch the Ravens next year. But all right, we got to move on to our Super Bowl predictions. So we're gonna let Brandon share you his, and then we'll come back with ours.
And like I said, Jets advance. NFC, on the NFC side, I got the Eagles advancing. Jalen Hurts is just special. I just feel like it's so simple the way they do things. And they can just go out there and play as fast as possible. And so here it is, the Super Bowl matchup, what everybody's been waiting for. Who's going to be in Las Vegas? Who's going to be staying at the Wynn? Who's going to be staying at the MGM? Who's going to be off the beaten path? What fan base is going to be where? Who's bringing who? Where are we partying? What circus are we going to see? This circus right here, the biggest one in town. February, Las Vegas. The Eagles versus the Jets. Green on green. What are they going to do? Who's going to wear the green jerseys? Who's going to wear the white jerseys? Who's home? Who's away? But I do know this is the Super Bowl matchup. I do know the Jets is going to win. And then we're going to be left with one question, Ashley and Corey. Do we run it back, or does Aaron Rodgers retire? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's discuss.
What's your score prediction?
We're not there yet. It's way too early for that.
Oh, you don't go to score prediction?
Way too early for that. There we go.
All right, he says he knows the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. Come on now. Who we got in the Super Bowl? DJ, I'll start with you.
Oh man, put it on me, huh?
They saying drug test, B. Marsh.
I can't do it, Ashley. As much as I want to throw you a alley oop and a
do it. Come on, give me one.
I'm not doing it. No, I can't do it. I can't. It's just something about DJ that can't pick a cow. I ain't gonna disrespect
That's
that.
great.
Can't pick a cow. I'm gonna go Eagles. I'm gonna take my Eagles NFC, and I'm gonna take Buffalo AFC.
Eagles.
And I'm gonna say Eagles gonna win it all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Ashley,
Damn, Ashley, you straight over there?
What? Eagles are gonna win it
I'm
all.
taking my Eagles, man.
You think you're gonna two-peat? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm taking my Eagles all the way, man.
You can't two-peat. I forgot you guys didn't win last season.
No, they didn't win last year. You know, we should have, but we don't live off should have. But this the year the Fly Eagles fly. We bringing the Fly Eagles fly back this year. You know what I'm saying? We on that. So yeah, I'm going my Eagles.
Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Obviously, it's not the Eagles.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
Right.
I'm gonna go Bengals, and I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Oh my God.
Bengals, Cowboys.
Because it's called manifestation. Once again, we're back to manifestation tree.
You know what? Why we manifesting?
I'm manifesting. It's
Cincinnati
Cowboys
and the Giants.
They ain't won since the 90s, bro. You know
That's
she
all
got
right.
it.
Vintage
the
is back in
Giants.
style. You haven't heard?
Oh my gosh.
You sure you don't want the Giants to win?
Come on, Ashley.
I would literally rather anything else happen than the
So the Eagles could win before the Giants?
Come on, Ashley.
I love
The
it.
lesser of two evils. Go with the Giants.
Yes. Only because Devontae Smith is a good friend of mine. So the Eagles winning means he's 1-1. The Giants, no, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Dang, man. I actually hate the Giants. What the Giants did to you?
I can't do it.
So you actually got the Cowboys beating the Bengals though in the Super Bowl?
I don't.
Okay, all right. I'm like, yeah, you got it.
You're not manifesting. You're not manifesting, Ashley. Ashley, you're not manifesting.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm weak.
I do.
I'm weak. For your foe.
I don't know about no Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. I got the Eagles
You're gonna
and the
pick
Bengals.
the Dolphins, Corey? Come on.
No, I actually got the Eagles in the. I'm realistic, so I actually got the Bengals going. I think they'll edge the Dolphins, and of course, if the Dolphins make it, then of course I'm a happy camper. But no, I think the Bengals and the Eagles make it, and I think the Eagles top the Bengals. I think the Eagles are hungry, right? They're coming back with the same exact team for the most part.
Yeah.
They might have just added some more on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody on the offensive side is now heading into year 2 with each other and whatnot. I mean, for some guys, it's been longer than that. The Eagles, they're.
We got Swift. We got Swift at running back too. Don't forget about Swift.
God, they got Swift. They got DeAndre Swift. If you ask me,
I will say though that listen, the Eagles, they brought a lot of people back. Basically the whole team back, and they got much better. I mean, to the point.
No, we still got Jason. We still got Jason Kelsey at center. Come on.
I mean, listen, they brought
Lane Johnson. I can keep going. Brandon Graham, Fletcher. We got the whole Georgia defensive line, like linebackers,
Calm down.
We're the Georgia Eagles.
Relax.
Honestly, the Georgia Eagles.
I will say though, that's very hard to do in football. They mastered that. Also, they drafted very well.
Howie Roseman, come on, Howie Roseman.
They're gonna be a tough team. They're definitely gonna be a tough team. I said this at the beginning of when we were talking about 2 early predictions. I personally believe, no offense to offense. I don't really care. I think the division comes down to the Cowboys and the Eagles. I don't think that anybody else really is competition. I think that they're going to be watching each other's schedules.
Yeah, being
I think that they're going to be watching closely when they have to play each other. Those games are going to be must wins. It's really going to come down to those teams. The Commanders are in disarray. They don't even own their name. And the Giants don't know if they're going to have their running back, who's responsible for a big chunk of their offense. The division really is for the Cowboys and the Eagles to slug it out, win the games that they're not playing each other, win the games that they are playing each other. Those are the teams that I feel like are really going to be the only reason that the NFC East is, to watch the NFC East.
Can I be a little messy?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious, man. It's crazy how no one's talking about the LA Rams, man. And I don't need the Rams, but what about Seattle? Like, is Geno in the talks either? Like,
no.
We're forgetting about the NFC West a little bit. I just kind of, because the Rams was the talk 2 years ago. Like, it's just crazy, how.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to ask. You do have confidence in the Rams? You think if they
no.
yeah.
I don't think the Rams are going to be any good.
Yeah, no.
I have a little more confidence in Seattle than I have in the Rams.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'd agree.
But I feel like the Rams are one of them teams where it's like they're almost like a sneaky team. Like you can't just forget like Aaron Donald's not like single-handedly one of the best. I don't even want to say one of the best. I think
the best.
The best.
Say the best.
Yeah, the best defensive player of all time. I know we have some argument here and there.
I didn't know you was gonna say all time. I thought you was gonna say in the league right now.
I mean, bro, like all pro. Like I mean, what out of 10 years, what he had 8 or 9 all pro. I mean, yeah, like right. I think that's a
argument there.
It's a conversation you have. I mean, Lawrence Taylor. I mean, you have a few names that could go in there, but I'm just saying like. At any given time, I know their team isn't as stacked as they were when they won a Super Bowl, but I just like to throw some messiness out here and there. But I definitely think the NFC West, obviously, you hear Frisco, the talk of the town all the time, but a year or two ago, I mean, not a year, say just 2 years ago, it wasn't really like that. So I'm just curious, what do y'all feel about like the Rams and Seahawks? Like, are y'all just not sold on?
I think the Seahawks will be decent. I think I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the playoff team in the wild card. I think Geno, DK, who's that other guy they have? Walker.
Lockett's still there too, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Who? Oh, you talking about the running back?
Tyler Lockett. Lockett.
Lockett. That's the other receiver. And no, the guy that I'm really gonna be high on this year is Jackson Smith-Njigba, the rookie. I think he's going.
The rookie.
He might campaign for offensive rookie of the year.
I think they have a nice little squad. Obviously, you have to worry about San Francisco always. I think, like I said,
they got Bobby Wagner. They got Bobby Wagner back. You don't think he sells it for him? He's
for who?
The Seahawks Wagner. Defense. I mean, I think he
no sells it for who? The Seahawks. No,
I'm just saying the Seahawks. He's back. I mean, I
think the Seahawks will be a playoff team or a wild card team. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. I don't think they're going to be a complete like dismissal. I don't think they're a team that is going to be just. When you play them, you're like, oh, this is an easy one. I think they're a team that's going to win football games. The Rams, I think, just don't. Outside of Aaron Donald, who's left? Jalen Ramsey's gone.
Matt Stafford's not. I mean,
who's he throwing to? Cooper Kupp can't catch everything as one guy.
I mean, you got Tutu Atwell. You got my boy Van Jefferson.
I just don't think there's enough there. I think that this is a shell of a team. What about Sean
McVay? I mean, they was talking about him as being the best coach in the NFL.
Listen, if they signed D-Hop, then I could start considering the Rams. They'd have
is it safe to say it's over for Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams?
I don't think it's over for Sean McVay as a coach. I just don't. I think in terms of turning water into wine, I think we saw that trick already. They already won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he can do it again, especially not with this Rams team. I just don't think there's anything there. I just think this Rams team is kind of, for me, when we did our rankings, I had them at the bottom of the barrel. Like I just don't think.
So what if they beat y'all? What if they beat your Cowboys? Do y'all play them this year?
They're not going to beat the Cowboys.
he said
I'm just saying. So is it safe to say if they beat your Cowboys, then your Cowboys are just like
they're not going to beat us, so I'm not going to have that conversation with you.
I would be very surprised if they beat the Cowboys.
Cowboys going 1-16.
Yeah.
1-16.
All right. Well, look, those are our ways.
You're not talking Andrew. Like,
hey, man, I got to do the most, man. These Giants got to know I'm out here.
Man,
the Giants. Damn,
Giants.
What the hell?
20 years
strong.
Go
back to New Jersey. Don't talk about it.
I said go back to New Jersey.
Hey, Arlington holds your stadium. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's because we needed a bigger one. That's what happens when you're a $1 billion franchise. You wouldn't know about that.
hey, go win something, man.
We're number one, baby.
You gotta tell
if you're not first, you last.
In between the time.
There's a reason we're the richest. That's why we needed a bigger stadium. Jerry's World couldn't be held in that situation. You don't even own your own stadium. You share one.
We getting there, Ashley. We getting there.
Y'all share lockers too. What happens? They just slap different names in the lockers when it's a Jets game.
All right, I'm gonna step in and save you. I'm gonna step in and save you. I'm gonna step in and save you. Those were our way too early NFL season predictions, everybody.